This week in news surrounding Israel, IDF uncovers largest terror tunnel in Gaza. That's a headline. Stay tuned for all the details. Well, shalom, everyone. Welcome once again to this week's newscast. I'm Robert Gottslig, your host. And World Israel News reported on Sunday, December 17th, that the IDF uncovered the largest terror tunnel in northern Gaza, extending close to the Erez crossing between Gaza and Israel. The tunnel extends 4 kilometers, that's 2.5 miles, and 50 meters or 165 feet below ground, and is sufficiently wide enough to allow passage to vehicles. Now, friends, although the tunnel did not reach into Israel, it did stretch 400 meters from the Erez crossing, which Palestinians used to go to into Israel for work and medical care. And the IDF, uncovering this tunnel, revealed its complex network of branches, including plumbing, electrical, lines of communication, and blast doors, obviously to prevent the IDF from entering. World Israel News further went on to report, this is what they said, that its width indicates that it was intended to have been used for vehicle-borne raids against civilians in the Gaza border communities. In addition to discovering the tunnel, the IDF found footage of Hamas engineers and builders constructing the tunnel. Dozens of Hamas terrorists were responsible for the construction of the tunnel and came especially for its construction from Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip. Wow, friends. These terror tunnels obviously cost millions of dollars to construct. And since the beginning of the Gaza war, over 800 tunnels have been located, with the IDF destroying about 500 of them. I mean, what an absolute waste of money that countries around the world are giving to the Palestinians, that Hamas, whom they elected in 2006, have been using the money not to help its people, not at all, but to create one of the largest terror networks in all of the world. Think of how many good things could have been built with all that money to help the Palestinians, instead of building this large terror network, as I mentioned, the largest in the entire world, all because of their hate for Israel and the Jewish people. Imagine if they could acknowledge Israel's right to exist and sought Israel's help to turn the Gaza Strip into a beautiful place where tourism would flourish. Think of the jobs that would create for the Palestinian people. You know, when Israel declared independence in 1948, 5 Arab countries came to wipe Israel off the face of the map because they refused to acknowledge her right to exist. Israel, however, this is what they said in their Declaration of Independence. Let me just read a few lines from it. They said that the state of Israel will foster the development of the country for the benefit of all its inhabitants. It will be based upon freedom, justice, and peace as foreseen by the prophets of Israel. It will ensure complete equality of justice and political rights to all its inhabitants, irrespective of religion, race, or sex. It will guarantee freedom of religion, conscience, language, education, and culture. It will safeguard the holy places for all religions, and it will be faithful to the principles of the Charter of the United Nations. We extend our hand to all neighboring states and their peoples in an offer of peace and good neighborliness, and appeal to them to establish bonds of cooperation and mutual help with the sovereign Jewish people settled in its own land. You see, friends, as I said last week, there are no two sides here. There is one side. This is about good versus evil. And as God says in Isaiah 5, verse 20, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them. Woe unto them. And so let's stand with Israel. And let's pray for them, friends, during this time, and pray for the Palestinians that they would lay down their weapons and make peace with Israel. Because Israel alone have been offering peace for a long time to a people who refuse to acknowledge their right to exist. It is as the psalmist writes in 120 verses 6 and 7. And I'll conclude with this. My soul has dwelt too long with one who hates peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. Friends, let's have compassion upon our Jewish friends, and let's pray for the peace of Jerusalem. And with that, and until next time, thanks for joining us on another episode of In News Surrounding Israel. God bless.